Welcome in the second episode. Today we will implement the question data, which will be descriptable objects, and we will write a custom inspector to display our question in better format. If you want to help support this channel, hit the subscribe button below this video, turn on notification so you will not miss any future video I release. First of all, let's open our project and then let's go to the scripts, right click, create C# script, and I will call this script questions. Let's open the script. So inside our question script, let's first of all add few attributes. So right at the top of the class, I will put create asset menu, and then system dot serializable. Then we need to change. We don't want to inherit from the mono behavior. We want to inherit from the scriptable objects. And then we can remove update and the start function, as we won't need it. So inside this class, I will create another class, which will be public class, and I will call it question data. And this class will hold few fields, which will be public string question will be equal to string dot empty. Another field will be public bool is true will be equal to false, and then public bool questions will be equal to false. And then right above this class we need to add attribute, which will be system dot serializable, and then below this class we want to create few fields. So first one will be public int current question will be equal to 0, and then public list, and this list will be of the type of the question data, and this is going to be our questions list. And then let's add one more method, public void add question, and then let's call question list dot add, and then let's put new question data. Okay, so let's save everything now and let's go back to Unity. And now I will go to the asset folder and then right click, create questions. So we have our questions which we just created. Let's call this object questions. Okay, and as you see, we have our list, which if we increase the size, let's say we want to get 3 questions, this list is not displayed in very nice manner. So we're going to change the way this list is displayed in our editor, so it will be much easier to add the question and then see all of the questions. Because currently we have to specify the size of the list and then we have to enter all of the data. So let's quickly write the custom editor for this. So inside the scripts folder, I will right click, create folder, and make sure you call this folder editor. So all of the scripts from this folder will be executed by our Unity editor. So inside this editor folder, I will right click, create C# script, and let's call this script question data drawer. Okay, let's open the script now. So let's first of all remove our update and the start function. Right at the top, below the Unity engine, I will put another using statement, so using Unity editor. Okay, so make sure you add this one in. Then let's inherit, instead of from the mono behavior, we want to inherit from the editor. And now we need to add few attributes. So right at the top, I will call custom editor, open the braces, and then put the type of. And then we need to put the type of the type which we want to create editor for. So in our case, this type will be our questions. So I will just put the questions here because we want to write the custom editor for our questions. Okay, so now let's add another attribute which will be can edit multiple objects. And then system dot serializable. Okay, so right at the top of this class, let's add few private variables. So first one will be private questions. I will call it questions instance. This is going to be the lambda target as questions. Okay, so this variable will be return the instance of this question object. And then private reordable list. So in order to use this your reordable list, you need to add this statement using Unity editor internal. So if I remove this internal, as you see, the reordable list is not recognized. So make sure you add this using statement in. So I will call this list questions list. Okay, and then right below I will put the private void on enable. And then if you go to the editor and press F12 on your keyboard, you will see the editor C# class will be open. So as you see, if you scroll right in the middle, you will see some functions which you can override, which is, for example, on inspector GUI. So this function we will use to actually draw our custom GUI. So you can override this function, and you can override many different ones as well. So as you see, you have a bunch of the functions which you can use. So I will just close this editor now. So below on enable, I will add our public override. Make sure you put this override void on inspector GUI. Okay, make sure you have exactly the same name as the function you try to override. And then inside this function, let's call serialized object dot update, and then question list dot do layout list, and then serialized object dot apply modified properties. Okay, and now we need to create one more function which will be initialize the list and add all of the callbacks. So private void initialized reordable list, and I will pass the reference to our reordable list. I will call it list, then string property name, and then string list label. Okay, and then inside this function, let's first of all call list will be equal to new reordable list, and then we want to pass the serialized object as the first parameter, then serialized object dot find property, and we want to put our property name. Then another parameter will be if, as you see here, if this list will be draggable. So I will put true. Then if you want to display the header, so I will put true, display add button true, and then display remove button, I will put true. If you don't want to have any of this button, you can just simply put false in the specific parameter. Okay, so let me just move all of this in the next line, and then right below I will put list dot add callback will be equal to, and I will just put the lambda function which will be reordable list and let's put this parameter question instance dot add question. Okay, so this function will be called every time we press plus button, and then list dot draw header callback will be equal to, let's open the braces and then put rect, okay, and put this parameter, open the braces, and then let's put editor GUI dot label field, and then let's put rect list label. Okay, and then right below I will put var l will be equal to list, and then list dot draw element callback will be equal to, let's open the braces, rect int index, and then bool is active, and then bool is focused. So we need to provide all of this parameter as this callback function accepted. So make sure you have the right parameter list, and then I will put this operator again as I use the lambda function, and then inside the braces I will put the var elements will be equal to l dot serialized property dot get array at index, and then let's put index. Then we want to move the position for the next element by 2, so rect.y plus equal to, and then editor GUI dot property field, and then let's put enter, and then let's add new rect, and let's put the rect.x rect.y 300 editor GUI utility dot single line height, and then the next will be element dot find property relative. Okay, I will move this one to the next line so it will be better visible. And now we need to put the property, the field which we wanna get the value. So if you switch back to the question, as you see, we have this is the name of the properties. So first one we want to get it for the questions, so I will just copy this name and paste it here as a string. Let's put the comma, and then GUI content dot none. Okay, so we're gonna create the property fields for our question, and then we need to do the same for our is true value. Okay, so for this, so this is gonna be for this value, for the boolean value. So I will just copy this line of code and then paste it below. And we need to just manipulate the position. So I will just add to the rect.x position plus 310. And then width will be 300 as well. And of course we need to change this property name. So I will just go back to the questions, copy this is true to make sure I have exactly the same name, paste it here, and that's it. Okay, so we need to put the semicolon here, and now we need to call this function. Initialized reorderable list have to be called from enabled, so I will just call this function from onenabled, and now we need to pass our list, which will be the ref, and this is gonna be our question list, so make sure you put the ref keyword in the front. And then property name will be our, if you switch back to the questions, will be our questions list. Okay, so make sure you get the same name and put it as a string. And then the label, you can call it whatever you like. I will just put question list. Okay, and then semicolon. So once you have everything in, let's save everything now. And let's switch back to Unity. So this script should be compiled. And then if you go to the asset folder and click on this questions scriptable object, which we created, as you see the displayed, the list looks much different now and is more readable. So now you can input the question. and you can say if this question, the answer should be true or false. Okay, so this is our data. If you want to add more question, you just simply click this plus button. If you want to remove the question, you select the question, press minus, minus, minus. You can reorder the questions as well by dragging it. So I think this list is much more useful and is better designed than the standard one. So you can now input the question which you want to ask in your game, and then the answer if this question is true or false. And in the next episode we will make use of this list and actually input it in our game, and this game should be playable. So all of this question will be displayed in this box. So that's it for today. If you have any issue implementing this code, please let me know in the comments below. So thanks for watching, and I will see you again in the next episode.